welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to be going over what to expect during a consultation for a lock installation with a loctician. All right, so let's get into the video. So you have contacted that loctician and you've told them, hey, I would like to install locks. I want to start my lock journey. And they're like, oh, sure, we're more than happy to help you with that. But you just have to come in for a consultation first. And you're like, why do I need a consultation when I've already decided? Like, let's do this. I'm ready. Why am I going to have a consultation with you first? All right, so well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing a bit about what to expect when you go for a consultation with a loctician, and hopefully you leave this video more informed and you possibly will see why they recommend having a consultation first before going ahead to start your lock journey. Alright, so the first thing that I would like to mention is that they would want to assess your hair. Most locticians will want to assess your hair before committing to installing your locks, and they would want to know what type of hair you have. Is it a 4C, whatever? Is it fine? Or they want to know the status of your hair. When I say status, they may mean what is it, permed? Is it natural or whatnot? I wouldn't say natural. Is it permed? Is it unpermed? Because our hair is all natural. If it's growing from the roots of your hair, then yeah, it is natural, right? Okay, yeah, so they want to know the status. In my case, my consultation started from filling a form first. They asked me a variety of questions. How did I hear about them? My contact information, the status of my hair, as I mentioned, is it permed, unpermed, and also what approach did I want to take with installing my locks? Did I want to go through braid locks, twist locks, or interlocking? As you know, there are different approaches in how your locks can be installed. So that was my process. And by the way, I have included their contact details for the locticians that helped me install my lock, so start my lock journey, and they were great. I love their service. So you can check my caption and you will find their contact information if you wanted to check them out. All right, so that's the first thing that you want to have in mind why they would like a consultation with you, is to see your hair, assess your hair, and determine the best approach to go with installing those locks. So I had mentioned about assessing your hair. In continuation of that, they would determine what approach would be best to start locking your hair. And also they would consider what your preferred method is. As I mentioned, in my own case, Microlocs, there were 3 approaches that I could take with starting my Microloc journey. I could have braid locks, twist locks, or I could just start with interlocking. Now, depending on how the texture of your hair, you might be recommended to start with braid locks. I know for finer hair, because of the probability or possibility of the lock unraveling after it's been installed, they may want you to have braid locks instead, because braid locks tends to help the lock stay in place more than twist locks for finer hairs. So that's something that they would recommend, or they would discuss with you if you have that texture of hair. And also maybe if you're starting out with a small length of hair, they may just take, why don't you just go for interlocking from the get-go? Because if you go for twist locks or if you go for braid locks with a short length of hair, it might unravel. So they want you to get the best out of your installation. So they may just recommend, hey, why don't you just go for interlocks from the get-go, right? So that's one of the things that they would consider when they have this consultation with you. Give the options, and then you can come to an agreement with your loctician as to what approach you'd like to take with locking your hair or starting your lock journey. So that's something to expect from a consultation, coming to that agreement as to what approach that you'd like to take with starting your hair lock journey. Now, in my case, just to mention, I did start with twist locks. So they twisted my hair and then they locked the roots. So that's how I started my Microloc journey. Now, also in addition to that, they would then also offer what sizes that they can go with in terms of installing your locks. In my case, with Microlocs, for the twist locks I had decided to go with, they had offered me I could either have a medium-sized lock or I can start with small sizes. So that would determine how they part the hair when they're going about, when I say part, like how they would cut each particular lock size. So they would tell you what lock sizes you can go for. In my case, I wanted medium because I have a full head of hair and I didn't want to sit down there for like, I didn't want to be sitting down there for like hours, or if not a whole day, getting my hair installed. So I opted for medium. I don't think they didn't offer me a larger size. They said small or medium, and I believe it's just to maintain the structure of Microloc. So yeah, so that you come to an agreement with your loctician as to your lock size, what lock size you'd like to go for. So yeah, so that's one of the things that you'd be expecting to go over or to come to an agreement when you have that consultation with your locticians. Also, during your consultation, your loctician will set an expectation in terms of a timeline. How long will it take to install your locks? Now, after assessing your hair, determining the method of approach, they would be able to have more information as to give you what time, how long you should anticipate that it will take to install your locks, right? So some people it could take a day, some could take days, depending on your availability and your loctician's availability. Some people it could take hours, whatnot. Now, if it's one loctician, you have to bear in mind, if you're doing Microlocs or if you're doing sister locks, if it's one person who's installing those locks, it could take the whole day, or it could take some days. If maybe you're working, you have to go to work and you don't have those hours to dedicate to just installing your locks and whatnot. So it could take a variety. It could take the timeline could vary depending on your circumstance and your loctician's circumstance as well. In my case, it took some hours. It took, I can't remember, maybe 4 hours. Now, in my case, I had the option of having more than one loctician on my hair. And I mentioned earlier, I do have a full head of hair. So I don't want to sit down there for like a long period of time. So I opted for 3 locticians to have my hair done. So I did have that option. And the price was still within my budget. So I was willing to go through that to just get the process done, especially with medium-sized locks and with a full head of hair. So yeah, so with depending on the locticians available to you, you might be looking at a certain timeline, which will be discussed during your consultation. So that's something very important, so that you can plan properly as well to designate that allocated time or required time to get your locks installed. So that will be covered during the consultation. Another thing that you're going to discuss during your consultation is cost. How much is it going to cost me to start this lock journey? How much do you charge for installing locks? Now, with locks, there is a base rate in terms when it comes to charges. There is a base rate which is determined by inches of hair. So let's say, for example, the first 5 inches of hair will have a base rate. This is what's going to cost for the first 5 inches. And then if your length of hair is past that 5 inches, then for every additional inch, there is an additional charge for that. So you're going to come to an agreement with your loctician as to how much it's going to cost. They're going to measure your hair, and that's something I wanted to also mention, is that during your consultation, to determine the price that you're looking at, is they will measure your length of hair to determine, okay, so this is the total charge you're looking at. This is my rate starting, this is the base rate, and then based on your length of hair, this is the additional charges you're looking at, and then they will give you what you are looking at spending for to start your lock journey. All right, so that's something that you would expect from a consultation. In my consultation, they measured my hair. They measured different parts of my hair and whatnot. I did put a Pic-Story, I did make a video of my installation process, so you can check it out for yourself as well. Yeah, so and also during my installation, they also measured my hair again too as well, just to confirm, okay, this is the length of hair that we're working it with, and these are the charges that you are looking at based on the length of hair as of today when we're installing your hair. But yeah, so that is something that you will expect to come to an agreement with your loctician during your consultation, is the price. And the price is definitely a huge part of determining if you want to go ahead with this. Well, for me, it was anyways. I had to know, okay, how much am I going to be charged before I go ahead and commit to this, or I start this process? So that is something that you can expect during a consultation with a loctician when you want to start your lock. Alright guys, that's it for this video. So those are some of the things I wanted to mention that you should expect when going in for a consultation with your loctician. And if you guys know something else that someone else might find helpful, helpful, someone else that views this video might find helpful in terms of what to expect when going for their consultation, please put them down in the comments, okay? So that you can help somebody else who's going to watch this video too. So yeah, so that's it for the video. If you did find this video helpful, if you liked the video, and if you enjoyed my channel, please like, please subscribe, please share the videos. And I do have other videos in my channel, so please don't hesitate to go through the other videos. They may be helpful to your journey, or they may be helpful overall to your hair care. All right, well, thank you very much for watching and stopping by, and I will see you guys in the next video.